Howdy, and welcome back to Celebrating Vintage Model Kits. Today we got something a little different, a fictional space plane. This is the Orion shuttle from the film 2001 Space Odyssey. This particular kit here was first issued in 1968 by Aurora. It was listed as a Pan Am Space Clipper 2001. It was in what they considered to be 1/144th scale. They did reissue this kit in 1975 under a slightly different boxing name. And it was also produced by a couple of other companies, made their own versions of the Pan Am Space Clipper, which we'll discuss a little bit later, but let's take a look at this model. I picked this up at the airliner show that I was at a couple of weeks ago. Nobody seemed to really be interested in it, but I thought it was pretty cool. Was familiar with the kit from the past, and thought, hey, this needed to be added to the collection, and thought I would share it with all you guys. So what stands out to me is kind of different about this kit compared to a lot of other Aurora kits at the time, is that it has all these engraved panel lines. They're a little heavy, but the surface detailing on it is a lot nicer than what you were fairly familiar with a lot of the Aurora kits at the time. So kind of different. This appears to be a period-made kit. Being that it's all white styrene, you can see where the glue that was used kind of seeped out a little bit and it's kind of turned yellow, which you see quite frequently with the tube glue that was being used at the time from Testers and a few other companies. But overall, a pretty neat little kit. As far as the accuracy of it, a lot of people consider this to be probably the more accurate kit that's been produced. Mobius has recently produced some kits of the Orion as well. And there's some people that say that those are a little more accurate. Some people say they kind of lost a little bit of accuracy on it. So it's kind of take your pick. Some parts are accurate on one kit, some parts are not so accurate on another. So kind of what do you prefer? But overall, kind of a neat kit. What I did find interesting about it is you do have the clear piece here for the cockpit. And you also have this clear piece that runs across the bottom between the wing roots here. There is a slot for a stand. And it does come with the Pan Am decals. There are windows. In doing some research on this, I saw somebody online had built the whole interior inside with a stewardess in the middle, which I thought was pretty cool. And the other thing that I think is pretty neat about this kit is it comes apart. And inside, you've got an engine. Now in the kit, it references this as an atomic engine. Nowhere in the movie did they discuss it being powered by anything in particular. And you never saw any of this. So this is something that was kind of, I think, made up entirely by Aurora. Kind of a neat little added bonus to it. And here's the tailpiece. Here's where the engines are. And the little antenna probes on here. I don't think these are supposed to be quite bent like this. They probably got bent over time. They were probably supposed to be straight. But kind of a neat kit. So at the time, when this came out, 1968, This is the first kit on the market. Of course, the movie came out the same year. Airfix produced one in 1969, also coincidentally in 1/144 scale. It did come with the Pan Am decals as well. A lot of people consider that to be a very poor representation of the Orion. They did reissue the kit in 1979. They didn't want to pay for the royalties to Pan Am, and so the Pan Am decals were gone, and they came up with their own red, white, and blue paint scheme, on it. They did produce a snap-tight version of the kit in 1981. Then they reissued it again in 82, going back to the same markings and everything from the 1979 kit. And finally in 2000, they reissued again, this time with both sets of decals. So kind of neat that you could build it in either the original 69 version, or if you had built it, in the 70s, 80s with the later versions, you could rebuild it again in 2000 from that issue. There was also a U.S. Airfix issue of it in 1979, and that came with its own separate set of decals. It was not the Pan Am, but wasn't quite as vivid as the regular Airfix line was. And also in the 60s, there's a Japanese company called Marusan that issued one in 1968. Whether they had the license to do it or not, I was not able to determine. Quite often, some of these Japanese manufacturers would just make flat-out knockoffs of movie ships, and they weren't paying the royalties to it or anything. That kit is kind of around the same sizing as the Aurora and the Airfix. There's no, I wasn't able to find a specific scale on it. But supposedly the wings are slightly wider or longer across than the Aurora kit, but the fuselage or the body is slightly shorter. So, about the same kind of size as what this one is. And usually it was molded in a kind of a baby blue plastic. It came with a set of wheels that went underneath it and a wind-up motor, so you could have your Orion floating across the floor in your kitchen or something. A lot of Japanese kits around that time included some sort of motor, either electric or wind-up, to make their models a little bit more toy-like. That kit is extremely rare, apparently, and sells for hundreds of dollars if you do come across one. And then more recently, Mobius has issued a few versions of the Orion as well. In 2011, they released a 1/44 scale one, which they said was kind of taken from this Aurora kit. There were some changes made to it, trying to get it a little bit more scale accurate to the movie, or movie accurate, I should say. So it's not a straight repop, but they used the Aurora kit as the basis for it. There was a number of complaints about some of the things that they did do to it, and they did do an update version of it in 2017, which kind of addressed some of the issues that a lot of the fans were complaining about. They redid how the wings are assembled. The wings are definitely thinner on the later issue one. A couple other changes they made to it. They also did this kit in 1/60th scale at the same time in 2011 and 2017. And finally in 2022, they issued a couple of new ones. One in 1/72nd scale, if you can believe that, pretty big kit, and another one in 1/350th scale. There were also a few other kind of cottage industry kits that were produced in resin, vacuum form, things of that nature. Some of them are supposedly pretty good, some of them are pretty bad. I won't be including those in the final box review at the end of the video. So, yeah, I tend to focus more on just the actual mainline production kits. So if you've built one of these before, let us know about your experience with it. If you still have one of these that you built, take some pictures of it and send it in. You can also send a little video clip of it as well too. Send it in so we can include it in the next viewer build video that we make. And that's really about it. I'll also include, I was able to find the instructions for the Aurora kit, so I'll include those in the final photograph clips as well, right after the different boxings that the Aurora kit came. I'll put in the instruction sheet as well too. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great day.